You made it. I can't believe you're here. Somehow, through content online or through conversation or through a network, you found out about the Beacon Engine or our agency, SSS Lighthouse Creative. Well, I will explain what that is for you today. It is a content operating system for founder-led personal brands and speakers. It is not for people looking for cheap posting or volume, easy, done-for-you content. This is not for brands that want to outsource being human and sounding personable. This is not for anyone who's not going to show up on their side. This is a two-way street, unfortunately. If we're going to do this effectively, I cannot completely create a done-for-you system. I need your voice. I need your input. It is not for teams who want to shift things up every other day, every other week, based on what's working right now, what's blowing up right now. This is not built on virality. This is built on consistent strategy stacking of authority over time. And finally, this is not for businesses without a clear expert or voice. I do not do this for logos. We do this for faces. This could be a salesperson who wants to show up online better. This could be for an executive who knows the importance of a personal brand online. So there's this misconception, and it's too late to be successful on social media. And this is why it's just not true. If you started in 2008 on YouTube, like, sure, you put all your time into it, fine. Yeah, you'd be doing great. But you're not too late. You're early. It is still early. And I'll explain why in a bit, but it is not getting any easier. Everyone's starting to pick up on getting online and having a personal brand. People are starting to understand that. Like, you are not the only one who is stressing that importance right now. And so that being said, every month, every day that you wait, someone else is getting out there and showing it up instead of you, inside of your space. If you want to be a category leader, it does take showing up online. And that online presence compounds over time. And we're going to do it in a way that's cross-channel and that converts. So this is why it's still early. Spotify invested in $10 billion into podcasting over the last 5 years. $10 billion. But more than that, Spotify is now pushing into video and connected TV experience. YouTube has led the charge in entertainment, and a lot of brands are trying to follow suit with that. And that being said, YouTube and all social platforms are continually adding shopping, memberships, live monetizations, advertisements. Listen, they have the research team. Like, they have put all of their resources towards understanding this. And the fact that they're continually investing more time, energy, and resources into it should be a really good sign that you should too. So what does this mean? It's open. It's not going to stay open forever. Eventually, everyone's going to understand that this is necessary and it's going to be a commodity, but it is still way early. We've got at least 5 years before that. So why did I build this? Well, I built it for myself, a little selfishly. I wanted to create a system that I could show up over time and consistently. And the reason I actually had the idea about this product is, well, I've been playing around with social media for over 2 years now. But with my measly account, my own almost 3,000 followers, I've gotten more opportunities than I can count, some monetary and some just filling my cup. I've traveled around the world. I've represented brands. I have got hired to film really amazing projects. And more than that, and the best of it all is I've inspired other people. I've gotten countless DMs on how my content has helped change someone's trajectory. And, that's my personal mission that I'm on. Somehow, with this account, after getting knee surgery, I decided I really wanted to understand it. I've been trying to understand it, and it just took ultra focus. And in the past 90 days, I've generated over 1,920,000 views on this page alone, just my Instagram. And that led to, oh my goodness, I just need to put the time, the effort, and I'm going to hire the experts per channel to help support this system, because now I've achieved it. I've achieved conversion through my platform, and now I've achieved like massive reach with my platform. And I don't do things half-assed. We're going all in cross-channel. So that being said, I literally posted for 2 years, and it took so much energy, and I just wasn't seeing, for like the first year or so, I wasn't seeing anything out of it. But I was getting the reps and I was still learning. And another reason is a lot of people are upping their output of content, but it does not sound good. It is, you can just tell, listen, I'm a consumer of social media. I'm in this, experimenting every single day, and I'm consuming as well. People read through the AI slop like that. Like, it's not going to work for the purpose of a personal brand or a speaker. It could work for maybe a service business, maybe for a logo. It could work for something else, but like for the people who are here right now, it is not going to work just solely relying on AI. So I was like, how can we use AI to assist this system, but keep the human along with it? And then, of course, we're all busy. We all know founder life is just a freaking struggle. I'm not going to say that this is completely done for you. I need effort out of you, and depending kind of on the route that we take, maybe you need to film, or we'll script for you. We're going to provide all the resources to make it as seamless and as easy as possible for you, but ultimately it is going to require your time and your thoughts. But don't worry, we've designed this with efficiency in mind. And so right now it's in beta, and I'm opening it up to only a few others who want premium access to this. This is not something I can scale to 1,000 users, right? This takes hands-on work and grit and attention. So I just wanted to show you too. Obviously you saw some results from this. Here, this is my podcast. Like I said, I'm in it. I'm on YouTube. I'm doing podcast. I'm on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for a long time. And my goodness, it just gets better and better every single day. The engagements go up, the DMs, the quality of the conversations, and the conversions, they're happening. I'm seeing it myself. And now I want to make this smoother, right? So a lot of people maybe have experimented with a social media manager, myself included. I was a social media manager. I was helping other people individually. And this is what I learned through that. And this is what I hear from others. You have to be consistent. You need 7 to 20 reps just to be remembered, in your name in association to your service or whatever you do, right? And your quality. And unfortunately, we have very short attention spans, memories, and if you're not showing up every week, at least a couple times a week, you will get lost in the sauce, lost in the noise. Like, you want to be the first person, the first name people remember when they suddenly need this product. If they're not ready to buy now, they might be ready in 6 months, but you're going to keep reminding them that you're there. It's not going to work if you treat every platform the same. So every platform has a very unique set of constraints, of strategies, and this is why I've hired out experts in each platform on your behalf. I want this information the most, and that's why I put the investment in it. But now I have that information, and I would like to fund the improvement of that information for all of this. Weak positioning is huge. It's one of the biggest mistakes we see out here. And that is why we walk through our branding process before we even move into this system. And I'll touch on that later. Poor audience understanding. Unfortunately, we also believe that the world revolves around us. We think the world knows exactly what we do. We think we don't have to explain again and again that which we do in order to clearly communicate to an audience. that's where we can come in. And oftentimes that takes a third person perspective. I know for me, it took a third person perspective as well. How embarrassing. But seriously, having someone step in and like work through your thoughts with you. I've done it myself. I've hired out external help. And that's when I started to actually see the increase in input and quality. Ignoring performance data, obviously we know why that would be bad. No clear goals or KPIs. This is my goal and KPI for your system. Within the first month, you're going to feel it. It's going to feel good. You're going to feel proud about sending people to your platforms and, maybe to your website. If you need help with your website, separate service, we can help you. I know one of the most common feelings is, if they go see me, they're going to be disappointed. Like I just had a great performance, or I just had great demonstration of thought leadership, but then they go to find me online and it doesn't match that level of quality. And that immediately just takes you down a level of authority. It's simple as that. So my second goal then is in 3 months, you'll start to feel it. You'll start to feel more opportunities come your way. They might not be incredibly huge revenue increases, but it will be a podcast invite, an invite to write a spotlight on a newsletter. It will be quality conversations in the DMs and many more beyond that. And then finally, in 6 to 12 months, that's where you're going to really start to see these conversions monetarily. You're going to see an investment monetarily back into this system. And like I said, some of this fills your cup, some of this fills your pockets. It'll fill your cup before it fills your pockets. This is not a short-term success in terms of monetary gain. Short-term success in feeling good and feeling proud, absolutely. I can guarantee that. That's not to say you could earn revenue within the first month, but I'm not going to promise that. So, content operating system. It's built around signal and real data from the industry, but also from your own content. It is meant to protect your voice and your judgment. Reputation's freaking everything. And if you're going to start adhering to a reputation of AI slop, good luck. People will start to ignore you. And as the days go on, and if you keep defaulting to an AI output, we've become professional scrollers. Like, we know within milliseconds, do I want to read this or not? We can sense it. I respect using AI, but when I see content that is blatantly written with AI, my level of respect goes down a notch, unfortunately. And then there's a feedback loop that helps us dictate or helps us understand what content is even worth turning into long form, what content is worth putting hours of energy into. Like, instead of guessing, we're going to use the short form to test and validate that, but that's not included in both tiers. So I've made the mistake before. Like I mentioned, I've been a social media manager, and I've made the mistake of jumping into posting without positioning, without getting ultra clear and really reading into my client and my partner. So, and producing all of that without an understanding of my client partner. And ultimately, that just burned up time, resources, and all the other stuff. Like I said, I don't do things half-ass. I'm done doing that. It doesn't work, and I don't see the results that I want to see. I've seen the results because I've jumped into my own branding and had a full understanding of my story and all the narratives that push my brand forward, right? So that is why I have the Beacon Blueprint. This is a required process that we have to walk through before we even start posting on your behalf. What is the Beacon Blueprint? It is a brand standard for you. It's not just a brand guide. It's not just pretty logos and all that. It is all of these things. This is where we strategize. The Beacon Blueprint. Of course, we can go visual with it if you need that level of support. Either way, all of your visual assets we need to touch up in a way, unless you had an expert brand come in, individual come in and create the necessary logos and create all that resource. Otherwise, we're going to help you out on that. This is a custom price as well, based on kind of what you need, but it is basically our onboarding process for this system. So that being said, we offer 20% off our Beacon Blueprint because it is one of our signature products. It is a standalone product. If you commit to 6 months of the Beacon engine, we will cut 20% of the price of the Beacon Blueprint. That is 20 freaking percent. That is high value. The Beacon engine application is one of the things that sets this apart, because I was sick of trying to collaborate with clients across email, across Google Documents, across social platforms, across text messages. No. We've wrapped it all up into one application, and I will show you what that looks like now. So this is just a preview of what it's going to look like. Our first version is going to be dropped and tested within the next couple days here as I record this on February 5th. It is built around that ease of use and that efficiency, right? And this is one of the most special things, quick idea capture. We've all felt it. You have an idea in the worst location, in the least convenient location, driving a car, in the shower, in a kayak in the middle of a river. And you simply don't write it down because, I don't know, maybe you keep a big notebook, or maybe you have a Google Sheets with all of your ideas. Well, some of my best performing content ever has been spur of the moment ideas. And I wanted to find a way to capture that out of my partners as well. This sets it apart. I want to capture that dopamine spike that you had in your brain when you had that idea going. If you don't write it down, you're gonna forget it. Our brains are not reliable, right? So what does that mean? That means you can come in here, and this will be a desktop app and phone app as well. You can come in here, type your ideas, or you can hit record and voice note them. Myself, I love voice note. So if you want to do multiple, you can go ahead and do that. So another thing that I really wanted to include with the application was a place for you to, I'm jumping around here, but upload your files. So a lot of great input comes from the content we consume. Oftentimes we're selling a transformation that we had ourselves. And that means a lot of the times our buyer personas are similar to who we are. It's just easier to sell that way. And that means if we're inspired by a hook, a piece of content, an Instagram reel, I will screenshot that. I will screen record that. I want the things that inspire you, because that helps us understand what you consume, which helps us understand what your audience might be consuming. So if you find hooks, instead of having them all over the place in different folders, etc., we have a place for you to drop your files. And also, if you step it up to the growth engine tier and we're doing long form video on your behalf, this is the place where you can come upload those videos as well as like keynote videos, all the stuff. Finally, the AI brand assist. So I think we all know what it's like to enter a conversation and be like, dang, if only I knew how to word this in messaging that is close and near and dear to what is effective for our brand. And when we dive through your brand, we're going to create that messaging that sells and convinces your niche, like that helps your audience be felt and seen and heard and really speaks their identity. Anyway, if we go through all that work and you don't have access to that in some way, shape, or form, what did we do? This is just another benefit of being a part of this retainer agreement, is you will have access to this agent who will understand how to address certain situations. Like say you're walking into a client meeting and you're like, oh my gosh, what is my mission statement? I just need a quick reminder of how I can phrase this that keeps everything aligned into our goals and the goals that we've set. this is where you can come chat with it. Like, hey, what is my mission statement? Or, hey, I have an Instagram post last minute. How can I word this? Blah, blah, blah. And you can send that and get an agent response. I will touch on this later, but we are built on a system that is batch creation, and we cannot do, at the moment, I would love to add this feature in the future. At the moment, we will not do last minute posts for you on your behalf, but we have another resource called Beacon Flow, another application, and it is mainly made for LinkedIn, but that one will produce a pretty killer LinkedIn post if you have a last minute idea, such as the market update that's urgent, or you just got out of a keynote. The AI brand assist will be there to help you as well, but it's not as great as a content specific system, but that is the app we've built, the Beacon Flow application. This has it typed wrong here. Anyway, that is its own app. It's available on the App Store now if you want to download it, and it is currently free to use. So that's just a brief overview of our application. One of my favorite parts of this entire thing. Oh, and by the way, there's a bunch of features down the line that I'm really hoping to add, such as resources, how-to guides. We'll be sending notifications back and forth, approvals within the app as well. So that's not emails and Google Docs, all the stuff. So how does this system work timing-wise? I mentioned earlier that we don't want to make long form unless we see it's already working. This is our data validation, right? So I'm going to walk you through the timeline of the Beacon engine. You know how I mentioned I want your input? I need your idea dumps, voice notes, screenshots, raw uploads. That will be a habit you've instilled. It is a very important habit because as your consumption changes, as your worlds change online, we need to stay up to date with that. And this is one of the quickest ways we can do that, as well as just continually being connected to you and that dopamine, like I mentioned earlier. So that is constantly running, that collection, right? So say that we start month A. Say that this short form A is not here. Say that we collect for an entire 4 weeks here. This is assuming that the system's already going and running. Then we're going to take that and we're going to plan at like week 3. No, at week 2, we're going to start taking your brain dumps and we're going to craft our content cross channels. Let me check on something really quick. Oh, that's nice. I'll show you the workflow of the actual short form. But we're going to batch that short form. We're going to send it for approval by week 3, and then you're going to approve it before week 4 ends, and that means we schedule it out. This short form publishing is all done 4 weeks at a time, planned out. And then once that has gone, we're going to take all of the data from this short form content, Instagram Reels, LinkedIn posts, X posts, whatever it might be. We'll decide on where you're going to show up in our strategy and our onboarding. But once we've taken that data and see what's performing in terms of the statistics that matter, what's performing in terms of saves, shares, reposts, comments, etc. Each of those kind of have a different weight in terms of what's resonating with our audience. Then we're going to take that data and craft the newsletter. We're going to take that data and craft the long form script for your explainer video or your podcast topic or the ideas for the next guest. So this is why another huge thing that sets this system apart, and like this entire thing is taken from the strategies of the greats, of Alex Hermosi, of Dan Martell, etc. So the intentional lag is for validated performance, and we are not stepping into this feedback loop until we are in the growth engine plan. We have 2 tiers. Growth engine gets all of this. If you're on the basic support level, we're just doing short form for you. So big time. That's big time, you guys. So what does the workflow actually look like? We mentioned here that we're getting those idea dumps, but beyond that, what's happening? So I'm going to walk you through. This is on the webpage below if you're watching this through the website. This is the process for short form. I'm going to walk you through the process for short form and then for long form. So, oops, I'm getting lost here. Upload. Oh, here we are. Capture ideas anytime. So you know the feeling. You have a great idea, blah, 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 all the stuff. We're going to capture that 24/7 on the app. You're going to instill this habit and you're going to hold up your end of the bargain by letting us into your brain and your ideas. So the system will always take your thinking and collect it over time. Nothing you share gets lost. And from there, once it's uploaded, we're going to take that and we're going to normalize that because you're uploading in a multitude of different formats, such as text, such as voice recordings, such as screenshots and videos, right? So the system, the AI assisted system is going to convert that into clean, readable source layer, right? For AI to do a good job, we need to maintain that source information through every step of the way because we don't want to lose that clarity and that detail. Anyway, that's for the system. Then it's going to pull out basically stencils or templates of content that works. So repeated themes, identified points of view, stories, lessons, tools, captured authority moments, identified before content creation. So like there's different types of contents. There's stories, insight. There's a sharp point of view, explanation, and many other things. So this is the layer of the system that names those ideal. There's like working with one of my LinkedIn experts. He said that there are 14 different types of basically winning content if you were to put them all in their own bucket. Anyway, then from there, those ideas, we keep them in their raw format along the entire path, but then we're going to, meaning as a reference, and then we're going to make it platform specific expression. Like I said, each platform has different rules, different best practices, and we're going to make sure that we're doing the best practice across every channel. So this is kind of where the human layer comes into play. It maps that, and it maps at big scale, but then the human's going to come in and validate what's actually going to land, what's actually going to work here on this channel. So we don't want to let AI take the wheel, but we're going to let it help us assist us on our system. Then prepare and stage content. This is where we actually upload it into our software, where we schedule and where we pull data from. Here we can kind of see the thumbnails, how everything's looking, is it cohesive? But most importantly, it's kind of where we prioritize our speed. And this is where we can kind of systemize things and schedule things out reliably across channels for you. Then we will have, assuming this is part of a workflow, we might have an option that you can toggle this off if we've been working long enough together. But I don't know that we ever will do that because one of the biggest things on this stage is the fact checking. Like, we'll do our best as, like, we're ghostwriting for you. We're making claims, and unfortunately, sometimes we can get it wrong. And that's where we need your final review. We would never want to put something out there that's not accurate to you. So this is validation. This is not the stage where we are doing complete full rewrites. This is not the stage where we're making more ideas up. This is solely based on accuracy and alignment. Because we gotta schedule your stuff out and we gotta keep that system moving. So like we said, the next kind of thing, as long as you're on the growth tier plan, is the feedback loop. We're gonna pull that data, we're gonna read that data very carefully, and then we're gonna understand the video in the long form. So That's kind of the next step here. Feedback loop, winning ideas, re-enter into the system. Underperformers are dropped, and that our system will continually learn from itself. And it's important that we understand and that the system understand what works, but it's also important that it understand what doesn't work. So then next, we're getting to the end here, guys, by the way. Next is long form workflow. So we will decide where you show up, how you show up together on onboarding through our Beacon Blueprint process. But this is how it works. If we will have an option, assuming you're a local client, to, at this moment, Minneapolis, Charleston, or the Florida Keys. If you're a local client, we can have that support where we come out and film on your behalf. But it's honestly not really economical for a founder and or a speaker most of the time. So we'd instead rather coach you in our onboarding to film yourself, and we'll have resources to help you set up your own studio. But you don't need all this fancy equipment. You don't need all this fancy backdrop lighting. You just need you to show up at the end of the day. And an iPhone or phone will just work just fine. So like I said, in our application, we'll have the spot for that. You can upload the information, and from there, it'll go into our back end, and we can kind of edit it from there, assuming that you're uploading video or audio. Then this will kind of be the same place where we'll have you upload long form brain dumps if it gets to that point as well. Polish, now reproduce. So we are going to make this a lean system. If you want to go above and beyond and have amazing animation or amazing B-roll go over your video, that will probably be an add-on. But right now, we just want to make sure that we're doing things and we're getting it out and we're staying consistent in an economic way for you, as economic as possible. So, like we said, removing mistakes, pauses, and relevant sections. That's especially important for podcasts. And yeah, in that, like, whether we do whatever we do will be decided on our onboarding. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard it, YouTube is huge for SEO. Social media has so much SEO potential. Actually, LinkedIn is now a reference for LLMs to pull information from. So it's kind of great that you're showing up online for your personal brand and for that visibility, but it's also playing into your SEO, which is really cool. The value here isn't just in that repeat and people seeing your faces. The value is in the SEO as well. So it's really important that we kind of dial that in, especially on YouTube, but cross-channel, and that's something you'll get with the Beacon Blueprint. Short form clips extracted. So for a long form video, we will clip out more short form video for extra reach. So we've done short form at the get-go, and that was to validate kind of the ideas that are working. But if you have a long keynote video or a long podcast, there's so much gold, and you've already put that effort in, you've already recorded, you already have that great content. Let's recycle it. Like, oh, there's so much value if you're not utilizing long form in its short form glory. You need to start. We will help you assist that on the way. And we have a quality checklist of short form. You know, we're doing the thumbnail. We're making sure there's an on-screen hook in the first 3 seconds. We'll do the native platform music add-ons and make it the short form in a way that kind of increases its chances to be seen by more people. And then finally, the clips will be extracted, the writing will be done, but then the human editor, again, will kind of be here and give their human judgment and input, because AI is just not good enough. We need the human, and that is one of our senior copywriters or one of our production managers. And yeah, they'll kind of tighten that all up, and then once again, we'll go through another review and approval with you. This might be a little more complex than the short form, but regardless, it comes back to you before anything is published on your behalf. So we're almost done. Thank you for sticking around. So, some common questions. Will AI make my content feel inauthentic? Yes, it absolutely will. People see right through it. People are tired of it. It can work in very certain avenues, but that's not what I'm focused on providing, and I really wouldn't recommend it for a personal brand or a speaker. So we use AI-assisted work, but that AI, we use the AI to fact check itself, and then of course we have the human judgment in there as well. AI does hurt SEO and platform reach if it's used wrong. So a lot of people just give up and let AI be their kind of final output that they give out. And that is a huge mistake because AI, well, the platforms, if you think about the platform's incentives, it's to keep people around as long as possible. So they want content to intrigue people, and so some of the signals that content intrigues people is that they're sticking around, they're watching the full video, they're commenting, they're sharing, all that stuff, right? In general, if it's done with AI, it will decrease the opportunity, or it will decrease the likelihood of that human signal working. So there are people who are creating content with AI and are doing a great job, but it's not what we're doing here. We are making it as human as possible. Will we engage or comment for you? No, we will not. First of all, us as humans with our own thumbs, we don't have enough time. But then there's the thought that you could use these outreach systems or these plugins or whatever the case is. I highly recommend against it because, first of all, on LinkedIn, once you're caught doing something sketchy, you're banned. And if you've put thousands of dollars, hours, hundreds of hours of time into a platform, to get banned for using a silly automation tool would be really sad. LinkedIn has an invisible trust score for your account. And if you're using third-party tools that aren't authorized vendors or authorized partners, I should say, of LinkedIn, it's hurting you. If you want to find out more about LinkedIn strategy specifically, I have a resource on the blog. You can find it, my strategy to LinkedIn 2026. Anyway, I dive into more specifics on LinkedIn. But that being said, same with Instagram. There are ways to speed up a process and engagement, but ultimately, we've found the most valuable engagement. And I mean, the engagement that's kind of turning into aligned opportunities are done by the human. And what we would recommend, what I do for myself, is I pick one platform and I commit to 15 minutes a day. We will pick your strong suit platform, and that will be where we put most of our energy. And that will kind of change depending on a person and your work style. But YouTube, you don't need to engage so much. LinkedIn, it's really important that you're engaging and writing real comments. AI comments go to shit. And Instagram, TikTok, it matters less, but it still matters because we have to pay the platforms. We have to pay the platforms a fee. Unfortunately, we're creating content for them, but we also need to show them that we find value in their platforms. So I've been mentioning throughout this entire thing that we have two service tiers. One is our basic support. This is for founders who want strategic guidance, a proven system to follow, who want a valid and high quality appearance online, and to complete those 3-point touch points, but maybe you're not necessarily interested in growing your audience here. You don't think social media is the place where you want to really expand and grow, and that's fine. But our growth engine is for founders who want execution, who really want to become the category leaders, who want to really generate that authority cross-channel online and see actual real movement in their revenue based on social media, as social media is one of the best selling tools, which I believe it has all the potential to be. So our basic support, we will not commit to anything below $1,500. We really want to support you. We want to do a good job, and I've faced enough burnout in my timeline, and I really don't want any of us to resent our work with you. And this is kind of the name price based on the quality that you're getting. I mean, you're getting also professionally designed assets and really thorough thought through systems, as well as the expert knowledge behind everything you're doing. So maybe you're not growing to 1,000 followers in 6 months, but you are having that repeat touch point and it looks damn good. So, and if that sounds like too much or too much of a commitment, I have another option for you as well. Custom growth engine is custom based on the specifics of your business. Unfortunately, not everyone's the same, and that is expected. So we, at this moment, offering our beta partnership, we're just doing custom support options for now. And I've been at this. I've created, this is my high ticket offer. This is what I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into. This is not a basic social media management support. This is so much effort and knowledge and resources going into one place. So you get the point by now. There's 2 paths forward. Well, maybe there's 3 paths forward, I guess. But one is you join the Beacon Engine beta. We will give you, just hit discovery call at the bottom of this webpage if you're watching it on the website, and just hit discovery call, send us a message, send us an email, and let's set up a discussion around this and what this could look like for you if you want a personalized conversation around this. And another direction we could take is, maybe this sounds way too much of a commitment, but you really want to pick our brain and understand how you could maybe do it yourself moving forward, or hire someone that someone more affordable in this scenario. Then if you want this expert guidance backed by the experts cross channels, we're gonna do a consult for you. It's $150 per hour. It's a step in the right direction. And if you go ahead with this, we'll give you access to all of our guides and resources to help you carry yourself forward, because unfortunately, I know how it goes too. Budget's tight and we got to be careful with kind of where we're spending our money. This is a great place to start if you do want to show up online. So you've made it to the end. Thank you for making it here. Obviously, you've been intrigued, and if you have any questions, anything, shoot me a message, email, on LinkedIn, Instagram DMs. I'm here. I want to chat. And I want to see exactly what you thought of this as well. So open to feedback. What's still confusing? Let's see if there's anything I forgot to show you. I don't think I forgot to show you anything. So, that being said, I think we are good to close out this conversation. So, I hope that I will be speaking with you soon. Bye-bye.